Patty Mac. Dan's 30 years got our way, trading life and markets every day. Rusty's chained to the mines, digging deep day by day. But when Option Omega releases new features, he's free to come out and play. Option Omega, you're trading home, where every move makes you feel less alone.
There he is.
The legend. Oh, we got a video. Oh, there's other cars out there.
There it is.
That was
If you ever get a chance to do it, I highly suggest it. Shout out Rob and Maria for their hospitality in Florida Friday. I had no idea that I wanted to do that. Still not sure if I wanted to do that. I'm not a roller coaster guy, and I will tell you that going on the Daytona Speedway at 175 miles an hour is a roller coaster. So it was a once in a lifetime experience, and it was awesome. Rob was having the time of his life.
who drove, Troy? Who actually drove?
So there's two things. You can pay to drive yourself. I think they cap you like at 130, 140 miles an hour. Or you can pay a professional driver to drive you around, and they'll get it up to like 175, 180.
Oh,
We did that one, and I'm very glad for that.
Okay, here's a question. Fastest you've ever driven in a car?
By far.
Troy, Dan, chat. What's the fastest you've ever driven? I mean, behind the wheel, fastest you've ever got up to. Anybody in the Autobahn, please comment.
Yeah, the Europeans can get
that's
us.
fine. We'll convert it.
The Europeans are going to get us on this.
Oh, the
Dan,
Yeah.
fastest you've ever driven.
just 90 by accident, just
Yeah.
a heavy foot on the pedal, and you say, oh boy, I'm going 90 or whatever.
Yes.
On going through you don't want to go through Indiana at 90, they'll get you.
They will get you, and that is like 140, 150 in kph. So for our international friends.
Yeah.
So 140 to 150 kph. Troy, fastest you've ever driven?
I think like 110.
Oh,
110? Okay. In kph, that's 180.
is that side roads in Knoxville, Troy, or where's that?
That Pellissippi, Dan. Pellissippi. So
Pellissippi.
when Pellissippi first opened, it's this highway that connects Maryville to Knoxville.
Yeah.
Guys, the chat. Okay, here we go. Here we go, chat.
It was not open yet, or like it had just opened, so no one was there. So it was like a hot rod show, basically.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so right now Christopher's at 240 kph.
Love that.
And Christopher, you're winning. In American miles, that's 150 miles an hour.
Oh my.
So Troy, listen, everybody in the chat is faster than I've ever gone. Apparently I'm not a speed freak. Troy, Oh, here we got somebody else. 152 in a 2012
Shout out Draco.
Sonata.
That's what I'm looking for.
I
I'm
think
looking.
that-
I'm not looking for speed. I'm looking for the speed that's in a crappy car. That's what I'm looking for.
A Hyundai Sonata will
The
go.
Mercury Sable. Shout out Mercury Sable. Shout out Silverstone.
Oh, 125 in a motorcycle.
Now 125 in a motorcycle.
That's it.
That's
I
real
think you win.
dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
real dangerous.
Is that a
200
crotch
kph.
rocket? Is that a
Yeah,
crotch
like I
rocket?
said.
One of those
Yeah.
things.
Okay,
Yeah.
Troy, how fast were you? What did you get up to in that?
At 175.
Okay, so that is 200. That's 280 kph.
So
And
this
you-
is the thing, and this about the walls of all that stuff. You hear this stuff. I heard them talking to the drivers that were going to drive themselves, because your natural instinct into a corner is to slow down, right? But the way those tracks are, they were telling them you can't go below a certain speed or you'll just fall off, because you are not turning, you are going like this. And so those tracks, that corner, you're like 75% just vertical, like sideways.
Oh my.
So you're not turning, you're just going like that. And so you have to speed up into that. And so the way it
That's
felt
crazy.
to me, my head, and because I just get real nauseous a lot of times,
Yeah.
basically when you turn, all the blood is just like going to, like, you're just that feeling of a roller coaster.
Were
and
you
so, yeah,
was it? How would you compare it to the feeling on a roller coaster?
listen, shout out Rob Maria. I don't want to talk negatively about the experience because it was a once in a lifetime thing, and I'm really thankful I did it. Because there's not a lot of cars on the track right now, you just smell gas the whole time. So it's a roller coaster with a huge gas smell. I cannot imagine having 80 cars on that track at the same time. I can't imagine the sound of it. I can't imagine, like, they have to wear oxygen, and it makes sense totally. You would not be able to breathe at all with that many cars on the track.
Oh, I didn't.
So they have to wear oxygen through it.
For a little bit of context, you talked about roller coasters. So I'm not a roller coaster guy either. And my 10-year-old, who is a roller coaster guy, by the way, also stole my Option Omega shirt, and I just got it back. Where was that, son? He's like, bottom of my closet.
Teenagers.
Wow.
Now,
Dude,
daddy's
teen-
home.
Yeah.
So he took me on the voyage at Holiday World. Troy, it tops out at 67 miles an hour.
Yeah.
You were going you were going close to 3 times that fast.
Listen, if you like roller coasters, you should get down to Daytona and do this, because it really is a once in a lifetime thing. That track is insane. I think they said it's 2.3 miles. You're going 2.3 miles in like 30 seconds. I mean, like, you're just flying.
So what's happening this week? It's the Daytona 500.
This is the big one. So this week is the Daytona 500, and it was interesting. I mean, I'd always wanted to see it. Basically, like, the inside of the track is like a city. I mean, it's got, you can camp there. You got RVs and
Oh
stuff like that.
my.
But people were already camping like 10 days before. They said
Wow.
you can camp up to 10 days before the event.
So
But
it takes over the town probably during.
Yeah, I mean, that town, I imagine it probably, they were telling me, shout out Rob Maria, they were telling me that, and then they have like a bike week in Daytona where there's like 500,000 people that come in.
That's insane.
Something
That's
crazy.
insane.
So otherwise it's a very sleepy little town. And
some rocket. I mean, they have rocket launches. They can not in
at the hotel. At the hotel, they had dates for all the SpaceX launches, and
those launches you can see them throughout.
Well, they were talking about, like, it's the best view,
Florida. Yeah,
best view of the beach. And it's a huge thing. So listen, Florida is I totally, as I get older, understand why people go to Florida during the winter. I get that. Now, it's not my thing, but like. What's funny is you get older, you don't realize this as a kid, but like you start hearing voices, and like once you go to certain places, you get it. Florida is just New York. Like when you go to anywhere on the coast in Florida, and you're like hear anybody talk, you're just listening to New Yorkers talk.
So it's all
It's
New
like,
Yorkers, really?
no, it's I kid you not. It's like 95% New Yorkers. It's insane. It's like, how you doing? They're like, I'm doing good. How you doing? Oh, it's cold out here. You're like, geez Louise. So
That's interesting.
Shout out New Yorkers going to Florida.
So that's that part. So like they say Chicagoans go to like Naples. Is that so Gulf is non-New Yorkers? Or is that how it works? Or
My understanding is Fort Lauderdale up the coast. Actually the Gulf, the Atlantic side is New York. I didn't know that about Chicago. Chicago goes to the Gulf side.
I think that's what I hear. Naples. I could be wrong on that.
Like little gangs. Like, you're gonna go down to Naples.
You're
gonna be surrounded by the Chicagoans.
Yeah, but let me tell you something. From I get it for someone who's getting older. But I'll tell you something. There's something about, to me, if you're in like, I'll call it the South, but I'll just pick two cities: Knoxville, Tennessee, or Greenville, South Carolina. To me, from a Chicagoan, it's much better because you get real cities, but it's beautiful weather. I mean, and you get, just to keep the memories going, you get a few cold, but see, what's great about the cold in Knoxville is, like right now, let's say it's 20, 30 degrees. You're going to touch 50 or 55, 60, right, Troy, at some point today.
Yep.
So it's all good, but you're in a city. I don't know. I mean, would you get it? Here's the thing. I picture this. I always had this picture of Florida when you're retired. It's like, okay, here's your equipment when you retire. Go buy one of those metal detectors and you scour the beach for coin. It's like, wouldn't you get delirious after a while of just...
Well, Dan, I mean, me and you and some other friends of ours, friends of the show, are going to be down in Florida in, I think, May. Oh. And we're going to do some shows from Florida probably. So I would love for Option Omega to get you a metal detector.
A metal detector.
And we'll do the show. We'll do a desk. We'll have a desk on the beach. And Matt and I will do the show. And I just want Dan behind us the whole time, just looking on the metal detector.
I love that's how I pictured like a retired person in Florida. Give them their metal detector and early birds special. You go at 4 o'clock to get your dinner at half price.
I know Matt's an Orlando guy. I mean, I have seen a lot of very tanned New York looking men at like 6 o'clock in the morning at Fort Lauderdale, like bike riding, running, like they're just doing it all. And they own the city. Just overly tan New York dudes in their 70s just run that town.
Overly in their 70s.
It's wild. So anyway, shout out Rob Maria. It was very fun. Got to go down there, visit them. Quick little trip. And came back, and I'm excited about the week. Thursday night, I laid in my little hotel bed, and I said, I'm gonna put some puts calendars on, just a little extra little hedge, and then woke up, and those were all dead immediately, just in like 4 hours, just completely died.
Oh, because of Friday's up move.
Yeah, Friday's up move. So right now, where are we at, gentlemen?
Well, this is a great question. Let's look at, first of all, some international news. Did you guys see Japan? The Nikkei all-time highs opened up like 6%. Of course, saw people like, oh, S&P's going to crash because the Nikkei's up 6%. I didn't understand that. It looks like the Nikkei 225 finished up about 4% and off an all-time high, but it looks like it hit an all-time high at some point. And right now, US, I just mentioned that because there is some history with Japan. The yen carry trade unwinding is still in people's minds. But right now, futures around 14. VIX is up about 5%. And we closed, though, with a casual 133-point move on Friday, Troy. Just 133 points.
Yeah.
Vol, the thing about Vol obviously went down, right? You'd expect that. But Vol on an up move can be interesting sometimes, those plays. And Dan, I mean, you know this better than anybody, but Vol, when you have that type of move, that in of itself is a Vol event.
Absolutely.
And, So where are we at on the VIX this morning? I mean, probably up a little bit, but where do
Looks
we
like around 18 and a half. But again, I think the theme continues. We're in a range, and you say, how the heck can we be in a range? We're in a range. We're in a choppy environment.
We're right back to December. I mean, we're
Right.
right back to where we were for the last 8 weeks.
I mean, we got this, 6,800 to 7,000 in the SPX. You got some premium, and we'll have some catalysts this week. You got, interesting to me, the news this week. I mean, you got some earnings this week, not as big as last week, but the two big events news-wise. Wednesday, you have the jobs report that was supposed to come out Friday, right? And it's one of these delayed things that because of, or it didn't come out Friday because if I got this correct, the government shutdown. And then Friday, you got the CPI, another, I don't know if that's a delayed thing too. So at least the stuff I read is saying those could be, especially the Wednesday, could be, again, another couple catalysts. You have some earnings, but again, it's just, and it is very, let's be honest, for range-bound traders, it is like pulling your hair out a little bit because you have this kind of a race car back and forth. I mean, we went from the upper end of the SPX range to the lower end of the SPX. Think about it. We were Thursday at the lower end of the SPX range. Friday, now we're going towards the top. I mean, Matt, or in Troy, I think Thursday, well, even, you could take the ES. Thursday, the ES, we're at 67.51. Now we're at 69.39. So we're just like switch from one end. It's like you're thinking long Vega. You're thinking short Vega early in the week, especially Thursday, because the VIX is, up a little bit. Now you're back to 17, 18, 18 type thing. So it is nerve-wracking, but again, it's been the same story the last couple months. And it's, what are you seeing like in the Discord and stuff? What's kind of the general consensus with, I mean, obviously it depends. Are you doing credits? Are you doing debits? But what has been the kind of threads or themes that you're seeing, describing trading in the last month and a half or so?
It's hard to trade. I mean, people who had orbs and Ricks loved it. But for credit selling, it's tough to trade huge moves. Now, trending markets for people doing spread selling all day, trending markets are usually okay. If there's not huge pullbacks. And I think on Friday, I mean, if you look at it, I don't think there were huge pullbacks. There were some. I mean, there were some, but it was a pretty good march up the mountain until the little 15-point dipple or whatever it was, 12-point dipple at the end of the day. So
did Friday help your double calendars because they came back so far? Did it get up in the upper end or did it get it in the middle of some of the?
I didn't have a lot that were on before, like through Friday. The ones that I did have like a huge range, so that was fine.
Fine.
I do have to tell on myself though. I have a couple different orbs that I've done. I have one that's not done well lately, and I almost took it off mid trade, and I had the edit execution settings pulled up, and I closed them and I let it ride, and I treated myself to shrimp tempura that night for letting it ride. Not because it won, which it did win, but I'm trying to reward myself for the behavior, which is, like if I want to take it off, I need to make that decision not in the middle of the trade, So I held on. I didn't do it, but I did have to have somebody talk me off the edge.
Wow.
Like, just don't look at it. I'm like, I
appreciate
gotta look at
honesty.
it. I just dug into some work, got busy on some stuff, worked on some stuff that hopefully everybody will enjoy, and let it go. And then I opened it up and I was like, okay, there we go. But it's tough. It's tough. It's tough to TDBT. One of the toughest things for me trusting the back test is when you see something in profit early that's unreasonable. And like Dan, you and I have talked about it. Like I have a lot of ratchets on my tests that are longer days where you see those, every 10% or every 25%, it hits an unreasonable profit. But I just back test those. So if they back test better, I adjust my test and I trade them that way and I automate them way. if they don't back test better, I really try not to adjust them. Especially what I'm talking about is like a trade. Like it's not like the trade quadrupled. You know, it's if you have a debit trade that's up, 10 or 20% quickly, like sometimes that's the hardest of, oh man, it's up already a good amount. Obviously, this is totally contextual. What's your orb? I got a couple different orbs, real estate seller, and yeah, you can back test them to your heart's content. So I think a lot of this 15-minute orb is like, I'm hearing a lot of people talk about it. So I guess somebody's out there talking about 15-minute orbs. But anyway, Friday, if you traded an upside breakout, 133-point move, that will do you an upside breakout. What are the markets going to do after 133-point move? Like, are we gonna pull back on some of that today, Troy? Do you think?
My guess, this is my prediction, and man, I'm good at these things. I said sarcastically, I think we dip, and we either stay at where we dip, but we dip like 30 at the max. Give basically what I would assume, not even looking at the chart. I assume Friday we actually rallied into the close. When you say 130, I bet 20 points of that's the last 10 minutes is my guess.
Yeah.
And I
no, we dipped into the close. We were up higher and we dipped into the close.
Friday?
Yeah. It dipped at like
what was Friday's high?
69.65 in the futures, and it closed at 69.45.
Yeah.
Oh,
we had
okay.
like a 15-point pullback.
Okay.
End.
Well, then in that case,
but perspective though, there was a range of 115 points.
Yeah.
It was only 20 points off the high. I would consider that closing in the upper end of the range, considering 120-point range almost.
I'm gonna cheat a little bit.
Yeah,
so,
let's map this in a book.
Yeah. So this is Fridays. We were 69.65, 69.64 in futures.
Yeah.
The overnight got up to 69.79. My thought probably is that we end about right where we're at today. That'd be my guess.
A quiet day.
Well, and a lot of this is just like lore, but a lot of premium sellers, typically Monday and Fridays are very good days have been good days in the past to sell premium. Those are days. And Monday, I mean, you have this added kind of structural effect that the VIX is usually a little juiced on Monday. So VIX is up 18.6 is where we're at right now, 18.6. So off the high earlier this morning, we were above 19. I didn't look to see how down futures got. They weren't that much.
69.21.
Yeah. So I mean, we're dipping a little bit back towards that way now, but
I mean, you get those type of this isn't a precise market. When you have that, I think the point of it in my mind is we're back in the range. And now that we're back in the range, it's like the upside down. Like, are we ever going to get out? Are we ever going to get out of this range? And when it happens, it's going to be super violent.
Yeah.
And by what getting out means is probably to the upside. Theoretically. But here's my thought. This is my macro thing.
Yeah.
The Iran stuff is not done yet.
Yeah, and we have a long weekend coming up.
Yeah, and I just think
this weekend coming up, Mondays are
yes.
Oh.
Stock market's closed on the 16th. Short week alert, everybody. Before anybody asks, stock market is closed coming up.
I just think that there's just enough macro stuff out there that you can't just rally. Now, I do think we're going to rally. So I don't want to say we're not going to rally, but I just think there's going to be a cap on it until some of the macro stuff is.
Well, listen, this week, CPI is on Friday.
Nice.
So that's a little unusual.
Love that.
So I don't know if that's going to anchor people's longs maybe a little bit if they have butterflies or time spreads or whatever. That's or even reverse condors on Friday.
Shout out. I should have made a graphic for this, but I didn't. Happy 8-year Volmageddon anniversary. Because it was on this day, I'll never forget it, 8 years ago, that VIX did something it had never done, where it went up like 200% intraday or something crazy. And I'll never forget it. Some vol products, inverse leveraged vol products, went bust that day, and
Yes.
Troy had SPY puts on, and they bought our kitchen cabinets. That's I'll never forget it. That was I think that was like it was the first day like, oh, we're gonna buy something with this money we just
listen. Instead of shrimp tempura, you bought kitchen cabinets.
Yep, and we were sitting there. Rusty and I were just another dev day. We went to lunch at our work, and I had my little phone, and I thought, those way far out of the money puts are like up. That must be a glitch. And then came back to the computer. Oh, they've doubled. 10 minutes later, oh, they've tripled. Oh, 10 minutes later, they're up 1,000%.
Wow.
Oh, 10 minutes later, they're up 3,000%.
Yeah.
It was quite the day. And for a vol guy, those are the ones you remember. Those are your happy points, you know?
What was the day, Troy? What was the event?
It's Volmageddon, they call it. And let's see real quick. Rapid spike in market volatility, February 5th. I say anniversary because it was the day after the Super Bowl. So it wasn't the literal day. But and it was CBOE VIX surged 100%, moving from 18 to over 37 by market close.
And that was that when was it? It's not XIV. What was the?
It was. I think it might have been XIV.
Was it? It was an
XIV.
ETN,
it was XIV.
right?
It was XIV.
There we go. I think it was, and they were an ETN, which is a little bit different than an ETF.
Yeah.
But
they were leveraged short vol, and so that fund just went up. But the way they structured it was, well, if you're leveraged product and the product that you're leveraged to goes down or goes up 100%, and you're inversed, you can lose more than 100% of the thing. So XIV went broke. I mean, they went bust in real time because of that, and so it was real fun. It was just a great. It was the first time we didn't have cable. I think I bought cable so I could watch. I bought YouTube TV so I could watch CNBC all night because I was so excited. And that was pre Shark Tank, maybe, or Shark Tank wasn't on, but markets were in turmoil, so it was just a wonderful time.
And you had SPY puts. SPY puts?
Yeah, I had SPY puts. SPY puts had I think I had 37 SPY puts.
How neat.
It was neat. Things that just etched in my memory forever. So
listen, I'm a big fan of the tangible thing. Like do a small or a large tangible thing to commemorate. I mean, I don't know. Commemorating the win. I think commemorating the wins is important. Commemorating the wins where you followed the plan is ideal. But again, that's how I did with shrimp tempura on Friday night. Boom. There we go.
Speaking of leveraged, I had an idea that last week.
Yeah.
I did call calendars in TQQQ. So
what's
I'll
the symbol again, Troy?
TQQQQ.
Okay.
And what that is a 3x leveraged Qs product.
Wow.
And so I did call calendars in it because I want to test a little bit. I've never done
if 3x leverage isn't enough.
Right.
Put some options
so
on.
let's put a leveraged product on top of
Do you have a
3x
model
leverage.
of these?
No, but we could look at it tomorrow. I'll be interested to see.
Yeah.
It went
Chat,
up,
let us know if you want to see the model of the triple
TQQQ.
Q. Wait, when did you put this on?
This was like Thursday, I think. And Friday it was up 8%. I mean, Friday we were up 8% in TQQQ. But these were pretty far up. I'm riding like with the top of this range. So we'll see what happens. They expire.
So were they not up? Like what strike are they at?
56, and I've got something 57.5. Sneeze.
Okay, so I mean, this did get us. Oh yeah, you are riding the top of the range. Okay,
yeah.
So this got us back up, but I mean, we're at what 50
right now. I mean, so yeah, we'll see what.
Are you not up big on the position though?
No, I think I put it on Tuesday. I put it on pre one of those dips, so I think I maybe put it on when we were at like 51 or something. So it's not like it's gone up.
Did you do like a 20 Delta call calendar?
Yeah. It was one of those things where I was on the phone, I think, when I did it. I was like, oh, TQQQ. I'm gonna try that. So I wish I remember what the deltas were when I did it, but yeah,
Dang, Troy, this is a huge tease.
It is.
Well, it might lose everything. I mean, I'm forward.
I know,
testing.
but it's fun to look at.
I'm forward testing for the people.
Okay.
How was the liquidity in here?
It was fine. I got.
Was it fine?
Yeah, TQQs. I mean, back in the, I'm just going to date myself here. Going back all the way to 2020, there was a huge thing on Reddit about during COVID. This guy had convinced himself and was writing these huge posts every day that TQQQ was going to go the way of XIV, which we just talked about. Great transition. And it did not. But like he was downloading the holdings every night, doing the math on the swaps, and had kind of like, it was actually really, I think it was pretty impressive work, even though if it turned out not to be accurate, but there are, TQQQ is, again, it's a leverage product and they have options on it. So like if you can't get enough leverage for whatever reason, I mean,
you want some leverage on your leverage.
Greg says there's a TQQ guy on YouTube. Greg, I've not followed him. Is he the guy that I'm thinking of? His whole thesis was that TQQ was undercapitalized. It wasn't going to go bust. I think it's an Invesco, which is one of the big ETF guys.
There they are, Rob and Maria.
Oh, Super Bowl update. Guys, there was a Super Bowl. Chat, did anybody watch the Super Bowl? I did not. Chat, did anybody make money? Rob won the under, bet the money line dog, and under Super Bowl bet wins again. Lost the money line dog, but won the under. Total winnings. Positive EV. Love to see it. Positive EV.
One of my favorite things about the Super Bowl, I'll say this. I didn't care about these teams at all. And but there was a large contingent of people who are always there for the Super Bowl halftime show with Bad Bunny. But I love the state of America that we're in, that I forced, and this was just pure out of spite, me and a friend that Dan knows, Seth, the ringer as we call him. We're a little bit of trolls. We're a little troll tandem. So we created a faction of people who wanted to watch the Turning Point halftime show. And so we created a little civil war where there was two TVs and half the house was watching Bad Bunny and the other was watching Kid Rock. Which, listen, independent of what you say, if Kid Rock's the height of what we've got in America, that's a wild take. That's a wild take.
I don't think he's the height. Listen, I'll argue that probably the height, not to be a homer, but as far as spectacle, the Creed halftime show from 20 years ago, it's got like a guys flying around, guitars. But I mean, the whole thing about, I'll just not to get on a musical, I'm not going to grab my Les Paul or anything, but like,
no, name drop a little bit.
Supposedly the deal is that in years past, they either let you pick your instruments and track the vocals or vice versa. So, like the Red Hot Chili Peppers, I think were asked one year and they're like, listen, you can either play live and lip sync or sing live and play with tracks. And they're like, no, thanks. So I don't know. A couple years ago, they had a bunch of musicians and I didn't think any of it was tracked from what I could tell. But of course, like last night, I mean, it was there were a few musicians, but most of that was pre-recorded music that I don't know if he was lip syncing or live.
Can you explain it real quick to people like myself who have no idea what
so when you listen to any music, it's composed of a bunch of individual instrument tracks. So like you put on the Beatles albums and there were 4 Beatles. Well, there's a lot more than 4 instruments on the track. So you just layer like the guitar player may play 12 different guitar parts or also play the keyboard, and the bass player may play the bass, and then the drummer may have like 3 different tracks of him shaking tambourines and percussion and playing the drum, and they put it all together. So that's how most albums are not recorded live, where one person's playing an instrument and singing. They're tracked together. So this is what you guys come here for is
well, I'll say that
listen, I'll just say this. We have some seriously pro musicians in Option Omega who do this for a living, who do music, classical music, orchestral music, film music at the highest levels. So we have some really talented people. Troy?
U2, post 9/11 halftime show.
U2 post 9/11.
Great show.
Yes.
Prince.
That's my personal.
Yeah, that's it. Paul McCartney.
That was a great show.
Paul McCartney did a great show. Prince. Jack White a couple years ago was the last rock and roller, I believe, to do it. So
are you saying you can't? Are you saying from a music? Let's
There's
say you
too
just
much
go out there and do live. You can't.
Here's a problem. There's too much risk if something goes wrong, and the show's so succinct. You know that it's like, I don't know, 10. Is it 10 minutes long? There's not enough time to.
No. I got you.
But
when they do live concerts,
yes,
it's live, right? There's no.
Oh, Dan.
That's another.
Dan, this is another podcast.
Sorry. I don't mean to be.
Show.
I saw a group one time, and I will say this last thing I'm doing musically, the Punch Brothers.
Yeah. Well,
and
Chris Thiel's the best mandolin player in the
Chris
history.
Thiel, anybody who's interested in this, look up. And I told my wife, he was in a band called Nickel Creek, basically a child prodigy band from a long time ago. They're children when they first started. He literally is a prodigy.
He's probably the best mandolin player ever.
I left that concert and I told my wife, I was like, even if you didn't like that, like, again, I enjoyed it, but like, even if it's not my favorite type of music.
Agreed.
It was like watching historically like Jimi Hendrix.
Wow.
He's better than Hendrix.
Of course. But I'm saying like these kind of mythological things that build in music of like, from an instrumentation standpoint, it's like watching an all-time type level person that will be remembered
better than Jordan.
Chris Thiel was clearly the LeBron of mandolin. So
better
anyway, all right. On that note,
guys, we're gonna have a back test and a model tomorrow, or a back test or a model tomorrow.
I might just show more videos of me dancing and singing, though. I mean, that's the thing. That's what I realized about the halftime show is people just want the dancing and singing. Matt, they want us to shake it. And I'll let you depend on what it means, but they want us to shake it.
I did see that there was I did not watch the whole show. There was somebody playing a 12-string guitar. I might have been a 10-string. It's one of the South American, I think, folk instruments. And then Ricky Martin was out. And my wife's like, that's Ricky Martin. I'm like, that's definitely not Ricky Martin. She's like, no, that is Ricky Martin. I think it was Ricky Martin. So he is living the Vida Loca.
I am looking forward to living the crazy life in options today. And the options market is about to open. So listen, we're going to run. I've got some positions I got to deal with right at
futures
9:30.
Down 20.
Markets in turmoil.
Markets in turmoil. We're up 130, pulling back 20.
Dan and I will be back on at 11 and talking about the wheel a little bit.
The wheel. Yeah.
I'm excited about it. And I, too, with Rob Maria, have to go buy new underwear because of the Daytona drive. So, all right. You guys be safe. And